Charlie Austin, who maybe his name isn't at the same stature of, a Nani and Fabregas, but still has had a fantastic career. And for the first time ever playing abroad, coming over to Australia. And I wanted to look at what he could bring to Brisbane Roar. One of the problems for Brisbane Roar last season is that they had some really talented strikers at the club, but none of them were able to play consistently and able to become a prolific goal scorer. None of them really got going. And that was the problem for Brisbane Roar, I think, last season. They didn't have that talisman. They didn't have that star player up top. Could Charlie Austin be that for Brisbane this coming season? Let's have a look at the stats of some of the Brisbane Roar strikers from last season. Juan Lezcano, who they brought in, the Argentine striker. He was 28 years of age. He played 20 matches across the season for Brisbane, scoring 6 goals, which is a decent return, but you'd want more from an international striker that you're bringing in. One of the most exciting young players in the league for me, still at the age of 21, Luka Ivanovic at Brisbane Roar, who's versatile too, can play through the middle or out wide up top. He played 20 times, whether it was starting or off the bench, only scoring 4 goals. I still think he's got a fantastic career ahead of him, Luka Ivanovic. But he's still not at the stage where he could be that starting prolific goal scorer for Brisbane Roar. And then the other one is Cyrus Demi, who is still growing as a player, 19 years of age. He featured 14 times, and unfortunately for him, failed to get on the score sheet in the A-League season. Grabbed a couple goals in the Cup during pre-season. What you can see from those stats there, Lezcano 6 goals, Ivanovic 4 goals, Cyrus Demi failing to get on the score sheet. Those 3 strikers at Brisbane Roar last season, none of them got going. Now let's have a look at Charlie Austin and his goal-scoring record in previous seasons. And look, it's not the most impressive in recent seasons, but he has been pretty consistent over his career, at a really high level too. It wasn't too long ago he was playing in the Premier League and bagging goals there. Let's look at his most recent season, 21-22. He's playing at QPR in the Championship. He played a total of 38 times across all competitions, scoring 7 goals. The season before that, 21 times, scoring 8 goals. So look, it's not a massive return, but again, it's a tricky competition to be playing in the Championship. Let's look earlier on in his career. Let's go right back to when he was playing earlier on at QPR, this time in the Premier League. Premier League, a terribly difficult competition to score in. In that 2014-15 season in the Premier League for QPR, Austin played 36 times and scored 18 goals. The season before that, scoring 20 goals in the Championship. He's shown in his past, I know that was a number of years ago, at a good level, he has the ability to be a prolific goal scorer. Imagine what he could do in the A-League with his goal scoring abilities, especially playing alongside a guy like Jay O'Shea, the Irishman, who was one of the top playmakers in the A-League last season with 9 assists. There's a really exciting partnership that could be building there between O'Shea and Austin, especially when you look at some of the other players around them. They really need someone like Nikola Miljuznic to stay fit, the winger who missed much of last season with injury. Henry Hawes, one of the most exciting young wingers in the competition. That's an exciting sort of, I guess if you want to call it a front four for Brisbane Roar moving forward. Or whether they maybe want to play a 4-2-2 and have Ivanovic maybe partnering Austin up front as well. The question is, will Austin fix Brisbane Roar's problems? I don't want to say yes, he will, but there is clear evidence that he could do it. Playing alongside one of the best playmakers in the A-League, he's got a history of being a prolific goal scorer. If he can stay fit, if he can get a bit of early rhythm going, he has the chance for a golden boot. And if he does that, he could lead Brisbane to a top 6 finish, which is what they desperately need. The signing of Charlie Austin has been made with the thought in mind that this is a signing that will help us get finals football this season, which is they need to do because they absolutely dropped their standard Brisbane Roar last season. So hopefully for Roar fans, Charlie Austin can turn things around for the Queensland club. What do you guys think about Charlie Austin and how he'll go in the A-League? Let me know